who has said that they didn't like something or like someone, right? We all have. Hmm. We said that this thing or that thing brings us displeasure. That thing, that person, that place does not sit well with me. If I speaks a lot about it, you know, if I speaks a lot about that and how that has an effect on what we experience. If I tells us in Idingbe, Odi on the right and Obi on the left, that the insignificance of an owl is for today. Tomorrow the owl shall grow and become great. The banana stays by the river and enjoy comfort and regal, or the banana tree. This is the owl of Ola Mini Mola. My suffering ends today. The child of Akben Ragun. This Ifa was cast when coming from heaven to earth. He was advised to offer above. He complied. Today my suffering ends. Tomorrow it shall be comfort and regal. When the Doon Doon drum is struck it with a stick, 200 jingles will dance and shake in response. Today my suffering ends. Tomorrow it shall be comfort. Ashe. Those things sometimes that we consider to be insignificant, right? Those offhand comments, those memories or thoughts, right, of similar situations that we had that we show displeasure in. These things have an impact, right? We'll start small today, will have a profound impact tomorrow. That little thing that you said, that little thing that you do will have a particular impact tomorrow. Why, right? Because it grows. We have to understand that the ideology, the sentiment, right? Whether it's love or hate, whether it's pleasure or displeasure, whether it's joy or dis-ease, those things will grow, right? Because if you think about it, when we first learned what love was, we began to apply it to different things, right? So where it started as one small concept, one ideology, one flutter in your heart, right? So this thing in the pit of your stomach, where it had started there, right? It has grown. It has grown. It has developed into something that you can either place or take away from others. This thing that started with insignificance. Ah, it's taboo, right? It's not only is it taboo to give it freely, but it, once given, it's also taboo to take it away. The way is of change, right? We're supposed to set boundaries on these things, right? That we will give this a certain amount of this thing, will give a certain amount of energy to a thing in order to help it to grow. And as it grows, right, through nurturing, we will learn how to use it in other ways. Right? Think about it. We can start with our ABCs. It started with just I don't know how many letters there are in the alphabet. Can someone tell me? 26. 26 letters formed hundreds of thousands of words, but it started small. The thing that we thought was insignificant. Now, right? If a person don't know their ABCs or certain words, it's frowned upon. But this is what those 26 or 27, because sometimes why? I don't know. It's vowel. So these 27 sounds have even transformed into other languages, right? We've added some, we've taken out some, we've put some together when we begin to speak other languages. So the thing shall grow just like we shall grow. Our understanding, right? Our knowledge, our wisdom, our physical bodies, our relationships, our responsibilities. All these things will grow, right? When it started one way and it will end another. If I ask us to remember this, we've talked about this ODE5 before, how the banana tree has multiple fruit. It gives birth to multiple fruit at the same time. If I ask us to place the energy where it goes, place the energy where it goes, where it should go. Ask us uh, to remember the things that we give energy to. What are we pouring energy into? Is it something outside of us? Is it ourselves? If I ask us to be mindful about what we say, how we say it, right? Because these things can lead to either blessing or obstacle. In this Odu, if I ask us to tell ourselves something, right? By telling ourselves something, right? A particular phrase, a chant, if you will, that it shall give birth to something else. My suffering ends today. Ifani, my suffering ends today.
My suffering
My suffering
ends
ends
today.
today.
My suffering ends today.
Ashe.
Ashe.
What are those things that we feel like make us suffer? You know, it is even if we look at Ogbeyonu, this is the Odu Ifa for the Ifa festival that is um it was started 2 days ago or 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I want to say, in Oshogbo for Idin Leke Temple. Right? We have that Odu currently as our Ita Dogun. Right? We are in the process of making that sacrifice, making those offerings, following those observances during this period. So if I ask us to remember that we should say certain things. So it's different, right? So we could have said, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I don't have this, I don't have that. If I ask us today to say, okay, now those things that we showed displeasure in, those things that affected us in a negative way, we said today that suffering ends. What happens is we will begin to see things from a different perspective. It won't be from that of suffering. It won't be that of lack. It won't be that of doubt. It won't be that of fear. Because the chant from the Odu Ifa says that my suffering ends today. So we've each said that. What will happen is there will be some change. If I ask us to continue to make this change, this is how we can recognize the children of Ifa, the children of Agben and Regun. This is a thing that was embedded in us when coming from heaven to earth. The change, the transformation, the moving from one place to another, right? It tells us again, we're coming from heaven to earth, changing locations. When we came from heaven to earth, we were not in a physical form. We were just energy. Our home became that body that was forming inside the womb of the woman, of our mothers. Again, change. Ladies that have had children, we know how that goes, right? That discomfort, the heaviness from carrying a baby, right? Those different things about you that you had to change, right? That you can see as suffering. It ended. Even though it might have took 8, 9, 10 months for it to happen, you went through that change. If I ask us to remember that, certain things may last longer than others, certain energies we may be in longer than others, but we have the ability to command and control our suffering ends today. The perspective change, right? The things we say, the things we do to bring about that change has already started, right? It's already started somewhere. We released the energy, right? We said, my suffering today, my suffering ends, or my suffering ends today. So those things that will bring us joy and accomplishment and happiness, you know, are already on their way to us. We're already going to meet those things in the road. How will we recognize those things when we meet them? How will we recognize the blessing, right? Because if we don't change our perspective, then we won't recognize the blessing. Spouse, children, job, house, car, clothing, food. We can take that stance of suffering or displeasure with anything. Idingbe asks us to appreciate, and not only to appreciate, but articulate it as well. Ashe, questions, concerns, comments? Ipabanke?
No questions, Baba.
Ipadare?
No questions.
Ipakansola?
No question.
Ipasayo?
No questions, Baba.
Ipatusin?
No questions, Baba.
Ipasayo? I'm sorry, Ipa Yinka. Sorry. Ipa Yinka or Ipa Yomi?
No question.
Yayo?
No questions, Baba.
Jeremiz?
Baba, where do I usually get the dingbat before the temple?
It should be in the chat right here.
Okay, I got you.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you. Amy.
Ifa Pomile, Ifa Solapwe, Ifa Sola, Shaquan,
What you say?
Ogwato.
No questions.
You in the city?
Bro,
Huh?
or Charlotte?
Yeah.
Nah,
You
I can be though.
Pull up. I don't know what you got going on.
All right, but how long you down there?
I live here.
Okay, I got you.
I'm gonna be here all day.
All right.
Ashe.
That's
Ashe, if I've said anything harmful, hurtful, untrue, surely from myself.